My point is, I find it interesting when we pick and choose talking about the rule of law. Because if, in fact, Mubarak was a coup, then assistance to Egypt at that time, based upon the view that it was a coup, would have been suspended. And while I understand, Doctor, your comment that he was not democratic, for 30 years we assisted an undemocratic regime. So it's a little difficult to split the hairs on that one, when in fact you have national security interests that I think are prevailing. But I just think about when we choose to say that the rule of law should be observed and when not. And so it depends what your strict definition is at the end of the day. Let me ask you this, what could be the offer of reconciliation? We've talked about the importance of having an all-inclusive Egypt, an Egypt for all. What could be an offer of reconciliation that would bring the Muslim Brotherhood back as part of an Egypt for all? I'm pleased to introduce Ambassador Dennis Ross, whose reputation and experience is
and looking ahead to the Geneva Conference on Syria and the action by this committee to...
Some of us are moving forward with a new round of sanctions that will require further reduction in purchases of Iranian petroleum. But we are also serious about relief from sanctions if the Iranian government meets its Security Council responsibilities.
Mr. Chairman, Senator Corker, distinguished members of the committee, thank you for this opportunity to testify today.
If you flee 2,000 miles and you were told by the gangs, join or die, if you're raped and you flee 2,000 miles not to ever experience that tragic and traumatic set of circumstances, you don't come with anything but the clothing on your back.
To what degree is violence a factor in this flood of youngsters to the border?
In essence, we thought the agreement would be rollback for rollback. You roll back your infrastructure, and we'll roll back.
Today I'm announcing that my office has obtained a 3-count indictment charging Senator Robert Menendez, his wife Nadine Menendez, and 3 New Jersey businessmen, Wael Hannah, Jose Uribe, and Fred Davies, for bribery offenses. The investigation that led to these charges has been run out of the Southern District of New York. The indictment alleges that between 2018 and 2022, Senator Menendez, the senior U.S. Senator from New Jersey, and the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and his wife Nadine Menendez, engaged in a corrupt relationship with Hannah, Uribe, and Davies. The indictment alleges that through that relationship, the senator and his wife accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars of bribes in exchange for Senator Menendez using his power and influence to protect and to enrich those businessmen and to benefit the government of Egypt. First, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence, including his leadership role on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, to benefit the government of Egypt in various ways. Among other actions, Senator Menendez allegedly provided sensitive, non-public U.S. government information to Egyptian officials and otherwise took steps to secretly aid the government of Egypt. We also allege that Senator Menendez improperly pressured a senior official at the U.S. Department of Agriculture to protect a lucrative monopoly that the government of Egypt had awarded to Hannah, a lucrative monopoly that Hannah then used to fund certain bribe payments. Second, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence to try to disrupt a criminal investigation and prosecution undertaken by the New Jersey Attorney General's office related to an associate and a relative of Uribe. Third, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence to try to disrupt a federal prosecution of Davies in the District of New Jersey in 2 ways. First, by seeking to install a United States attorney who he thought could be influenced with respect to Davies, and second, by trying to influence that office to act favorably in Davies' case. This is the Mercedes-Benz that we allege that Uribe provided as part of the scheme. What you see here are 3 kilograms of gold. These 3 kilograms together are worth approximately $150,000. And of course, here you can see just a fraction of the cash that was uncovered as part of the scheme. Now, as part of this investigation, special agents with the FBI executed search warrants on the residence and safe deposit box of Senator Menendez and Nadine Menendez in New Jersey. When they got there, they discovered approximately $500,000 of cash stuffed into envelopes and closets. Some of the cash was stuffed in the senator's jacket pockets. And some of the envelopes of cash contained Davy's fingerprints or Davy's DNA. That's not all. Agents also discovered a lot of gold that was provided by Davies and Hannah. And the FBI, of course, found the Mercedes-Benz that Uribe had provided them. Constituent service is part of any legislator's job. Senator Menendez is no different. And as we explain in the indictment, there are things that Senator Menendez says he can do for his constituents and things that he says he cannot do for his constituents. He put it all on his Senate website. So for instance, it says he cannot compel an agency to act in someone's favor. It says he cannot influence matters involving a private business. It says he cannot get involved in criminal matters or cases, period. But we allege that behind the scenes, Senator Menendez was doing those things for certain people, the people who were bribing him and his wife.